Hello, welcome in everyone. Happy Tuesday, wherever you are. My name is Annie. We are starting the Endwalker Pandaemonium raids today. I know, finally, right? I've constantly been putting those off for so long, and I finally have time today to get started on them. I will be doing only the first set today, the first 4 raids today, just because I'm still in the process of like moving all my stuff, because I just got my stuff out of storage literally like 2 days ago, so I'm still like unpacking things and putting things in their place in the apartment, so I want to do more of that later tonight. So today will be a shorter stream today, but we'll get right into the midst of the story today, and then we'll continue on with sets 2 and 3 on Friday. But yes, welcome in, welcome in. I do apologize, I'm having issues with my OBS chat for some reason. I don't think it's fully loaded up, so I gotta chat on my phone if I need to. But that's fine, everything else works as far as I know. But yeah, we're in Charlian, and we're gonna start this. I have no idea what this raid series is about. This is probably like one of the few instances where I actually have no idea what this series is about. I know it is about Elpis, and I remember from base we saw another ancient person who I believe may be Elpis because of the same voice actor. Like, I recognized the voice. So we'll find out what that's about. I'm also really intrigued on how we're gonna like tie into story-wise, like how we're gonna go back to Elpis again, considering we left Elpis and all of that stuff happened with the final days and Vana and all that. But I'm really excited. We are on Sargatanas, Aether Sarg today because this is a raid series, and I'm probably going to queue in for this, and I kind of want as much of good luck chance to queue in pretty fast, so I'm on Aether today. But yes, let's head out. And how are you guys doing today? I believe we got to talk to you. The crystal from beyond. Nimjiji nods at you as if she was expecting your arrival. Hehe, it appears my calculations were correct. I knew that at this very spot I would encounter none other than Toumeya, the hero who saw us through the final days. So certain was I of my math that I stood here for... Well, let's not concern ourselves with that. It has been a while since I finished base Endwalker. I think 3 months now? I am Nemjiji, assistant to the Professor Claudian. We work with the Aetherial to observe the Aetherial Sea and delve into its myriad mysteries. Some mysteries, though, are beyond even our capabilities to unravel. The strange crystal we but recently discovered, for instance, defies our very conjecture. You've been to the center of the star and far beyond it. However, so we hope that you maybe see something in this crystal that we academics do not. I beg you lend us your well-traveled eye at Aporia. Professor Claudian will be eagerly awaiting your arrival. Alright then, let's go. Oh, hi Mr. Beaky. Nice to see you here. Ready for another adventure? I shall poke you for good luck, as always. Rusinod. As I live and breathe, it really is you. I assumed Nimjiji was simply attempting to pull one over on me, as it were. Perhaps I should pay more heed to her wild claims. Welcome, welcome. We appreciate any insight you can prove on the matter of this crystal. Professor Claudian will share the particulars with you. Is this the crystal, or is this just the display? Greetings, Toumeya, and welcome to my humble laboratory. I'm sure MGG has already told you plenty about us, but allow me to introduce myself personally. I am Claudian, leader of this little research collective. I must admit, I've been nervous about this meeting ever since Nimgigi set out to find you. For a researcher in my field, there's no greater an honor than to meet the first woman in history to traverse the Aetherial Sea and return to tell the tale. The professor speaks often and at length of your deeds, but he has no small number of achievements to his own name. He has peered deeper into the Ethereal Sea than any other Charlian, and the breadth of his knowledge is peerless. Peerless, perhaps, but for a single woman, we must seize this precious opportunity to learn what we can from her, and perhaps crack this conundrum that has stumped the three of us for moons. It is we who peered into the fathomless sea from the anti-tower in the Dravanian hinterlands. There we spoke with Hydaelyn and learned of the fate that would befall the star, the final days. Wait, but that was like 270 years ago, if I remember correctly. Or was it like your office, like your department then? And not you guys, like, specifically. Unless I'm messing something up, I guess. Well, anyway. Because didn't they say they learned about the final days in Hydaelyn like 270 years ago in base? Soon thereafter, all research was moved to Labyrinthos, though the Aetioscope did we continue our vigil. As impressive a work as the device is, however, it can glimpse but a fraction of the sea's infinite depths. Which brings us to the matter at hand. Not long after the Exodus was declared, we recovered an unusual crystal during a routine observation. It appeared before us suddenly, as if propelled to the surface by some unknown force. We found that it possessed an ethereal density that exceeded that of normal crystals by order of magnitude, and its shape resembles nothing which occurs in the natural world. It was made, not formed. Unfortunately, that was the extent of the information we could glean before we were forced to turn our focus toward the Exodus. The crystal was very near forgotten amidst the sudden upheaval. But thanks to the efforts of a certain someone, the crisis is now behind us, and we're free to resume our research. Thus did we decide to seek you out, the dauntless adventurer who delved into the unknown and beheld its innermost secrets. And now we would have you see for yourself. Here is the crystal in question. If it resembles aught you have encountered before, even by the smallest degree, please say so. Oh. The piece of candy. Piece of candy. Piece of candy. Memory abides within this crystal. I know of someone who bears a similar crystal. That's me. As I thought, you do know what it is. Please, tell me everything. Nod. I see, the Ascians use these to transfer their memories to new vessels. Fascinating indeed. Wait, I didn't know that. Hey, what the hell? I legit did not know that. Like, I know like their memories were like engraved in the crystals, but okay, never mind. I'm dumb. It was plain that this crystal was special somehow, but this revelation surpasses even my most considerable expectations. Similar artifacts have appeared throughout the ages. Memories of martial techniques manifested as crystalline shards in the battlefield, or storied stones passed from master to student. Yeah, the job crystals. A comparison between said artifacts and this crystal may prove a fruitful first step in unveiling its true nature. What do you think, Professor? Ascian memories. Windows through which we can gaze upon the convocation of 14. Unlike the crystal in Toumeya's story, this one does not bear the mark of a convocation. Who then could these memories belong to? More importantly, why were they stored in this particular shard? More importantly still, why was it set adrift on the Aetherial Sea? Professor, Professor, Claudian. Huh? Yes. I'm well aware that contemplation is the key to breakthrough, but there's propriety to consider. We have a guest, and one you invited explicitly. Must we do this every time? What? Ah yes, of course, our guest. Terribly sorry. I do so easily find myself unmoored by the ties of rumination. You're good. Perhaps a more, engaging use of your time with us would be for you to take up that crystal. If indeed there are memories stored within, they may reveal themselves to you upon contact. What's with this ominous music in the background? If anyone, message, come, Pandaemonium, please. Basis, grave threat, star, in danger. The expression does not bode well. What did you see? Pandaemonium. 'Tis not a word I've heard before. If my knowledge of the ancient tongue serves me, it means all demons. Not a name that inspires optimism, all things considered. In the event that another star-shattering cataclysm is in fact bearing down upon us, but have the aforementioned examples of crystallized memory to hand. Ninjiji, Rusinard, I entrust their procurement to you. If there are more memories to be extracted from this crystal, we will find them. As for you, Toumeya, there's a person I would have you seek. The one who has delivered so dire a warning. Your story tells us that this crystal could very well have been made by one of the ancients. If that is the case, then discerning the nature of this Pandaemonium would require a trip far to the past, to an era before the Sundering. I know of only one individual capable of such a feat, the very hero who traversed time to prevent the world's doom. I must confess the tales people tell of your adventures beggar belief. Their veracity has been a subject of much debate among my peers. Through today's meeting, however, there can be no doubt in my mind that every incredible exploit is fact. So I ask you now, return to the past. Find out what and where a Pandaemonium is, and if we need be concerned by this message. Thank you. For the time being, you should keep the crystal in your possession. I do not think you have seen the last of its memories, and more may be drawn out as you approach their source. Safe travels. May we meet again soon to share our findings. Journey to the ocular and approach the portal. Alright. Looks like we have another adventurer on our heels. So let's go to Mordona. I wonder how good this raid series is going to be. Because like Eden was fucking incredible. Like Eden was like my favorite raid series out of all of them. Along with Alexander, like a close second. And Omega was also really good too. I also like the fact that we could only directly go to the past via the ocular, and not say like, oh, you can go teleport to the past. Ah, yes. Alright. Guess we can go get ready then. So let's suit up. Let's do that. Alright then. Let's go. Oh. If receives this message. Come, Pandaemonium, quickly. We're back. Yep. We're gonna ignore the fact that I spent countless hunt trains over here in this area, so we'll just pretend this is the first time I've been here. Second time. Oh, hi. Could it be? No, of course not. Apologies. But for the briefest moment, I thought you to be a dear friend of mine. Realize now that such a notion is preposterous. I have theories. We'll just keep playing here. Hehe. She told me a falling star would appear before me. I suppose you must be it. Truth be told, I didn't expect the expression to be so literal. Pretty boy? Famous. Like, this has to be him. Like, I know it's set up, I think it was like the last two streams when I was doing content, or I think it was MSQ, where I was like, when we were going through Shadowbringers and Endwalker, like, we learned about Heidelin's heart, her heart being Vanat, but like, we never really, we were told that Zodiark's heart was Elpis, but we never really, we learned that the names of the Asians are the offices. We know that Emmett Selk's actual name is Hades, but we never really learned what Elpis' actual name is, just that he took the name of his office as the, God, what was he called? Like, he was Elpis, basically. So I'm thinking, like, this must be him. Famous. Apologies for not introducing myself properly. My name is Themis. As you can see by my bare face, I am not one of Elpis' observers. Rather, I've come here on an assignment, which has been more or less routine up until this very moment. You certainly do know how to make an entrance. I must wonder what brought you here. For it is plain that you do not belong here, or any place I know for that matter. He definitely tell we were sus because of the large yellow bird that was right next to me. Amazem's familiar. I'm also on an assignment. Let's go with the Sin's Toxin excuse. I'm Azem's familiar. It appears my initial impression was not so preposterous after all. I did not know that my friend had such a unique familiar at her disposal. If you are here at Azem's behest, then I can believe I can hazard a guess as to your purpose. You're here to investigate Pandaemonium, yes? If so, we may be able to help one another. But first, may I trouble you to explain how you came to collide with my skull? Oh, I'm sorry about that. I see. I believe this dispels any major doubts I had concerning your intentions. Apologies for being so intrusive, but you must understand this is not an uncommon occurrence. I shall pry no further, for I am well aware that we have secrets we must keep. However, if I may, I would very much like to take a look at this crystal of yours. Come on, Toumeya. Very well. Fascinating. While I cannot say as much as to what it contains, it's clear that there are memories stirring within. Memories that speak of something gravely amiss in Pandaemonium. The facility extends beneath Elpis and is overseen by the words of La Habrea. It houses those creations that are highly valued as research subjects, highly dangerous to the star. Naturally, it is strictly guarded and under constant surveillance. Several days ago, however, an unnatural shift in the flow of its surrounding aether was detected. Soon thereafter, all communications from Pandaemonium ceased. I'm here as representative of an organization that works directly with the Convocation, and have been tasked with investigating this incident. Now that there is some measure of transparency between us, might I offer a suggestion as to what we should do next? During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment. Okay, this is the gear from, Alright. I am gonna get water very quick, because my throat is already dry. Alrighty. More familiars dare. Thamus is eager to commence the investigation into Pandaemonium. Now then, my proposal is but a simple one. Let us journey to Pandaemonium together. Our destination is the same, and I suspect the arrangement would work to our mutual benefit. Besides, I should have no trouble gaining us both access. I do hope you agree. I'll be loath to part ways from the falling star. I've been waiting for so long. Originally, I had planned to conduct my investigation with the friend I mentioned earlier. She has also noticed the anomaly near Pandaemonium. It only seemed natural that we should investigate it together. However, she eventually decided that it would be unwise for both of us to go. If two members of our organization were seen poking our heads about restricted facilities, it could raise questions, you see. I decided to go alone, but she left me with these words. Fear not, for in my absence a star shall fall before you. While I could not comprehend her meaning at the time, I believe I now understand. She does have a way of being right about these things. So he is talking about Azem then. Like, not Vanop, like her successor. Even so, her hints as to what's to come are generally more cryptic, I suppose. I suppose I should have kept my gaze to the heavens. Suffice it to say that I'm grateful for your presence either way. As for the matter at hand, we must first gain permission from the words of La Habrea for entry into Pandaemonium. There ought to be a speaker waiting at Anagnorisis. Also, if anyone's available to party up with me and we can start the rates, please speak out. We'll add you to party. And like before, like we are on Sarkatanas Aether. It's much easier for you guys. Sent a request for permission before setting forth to Elpis. With luck, we shall not be waiting long. What a fascinating etheric signature. Ahem. In accordance with the Convocation's request, the two of you have been granted leave to observe Pandaemonium. Well, that was easy. I shall register your ether for the records. From this point on, you may freely come and go from Pandaemonium as you please. And that was a painless process. I take it as a sign we're meant to conduct our investigations together. Of course, while you've been permitted entry into the facility, the specimens housed inside must be handled with utmost care. You're to heed the warden's instructions at all times. Those who conduct work within Pandaemonium are called warders, for their role with respect to the creatures within. I have to say, this feels more like a dungeon than an 8-person raid. Huh. Generally, creations pose a threat to the safety of the star and must be undone. However, the words of La Habrea have deemed certain such creations as worthy of further study, interring them within the facility. Those who spend their days in Pandaemonium are not merely researchers. They must work tirelessly to ensure that none of their subjects slip their shackles. For all intents and purposes, the place is a... Okay, he just said it. It is a dungeon. Perhaps such a comparison arouses frightful imagery, but Pandaemonium is a frightful place. I like dungeons. I know not the purpose of your investigation, but if you discover aught that merits a report, pray do so with utmost haste. Master La Habrea shall guide us upon the proper course of action from there. And I take it that means you have detected nothing amiss as of late. The warders have reported nothing that would cause alarm. Minor fluctuations in ether have been observed, but surely Master La Habrea would have acted if there were anything worth worrying about. I see, it appears La Habrea is kept well abreast of the goings-on in there then. Hope I'm not overstepping my boundaries by asking, but... You seem to... Oh my god. You seem to be quite familiar with Master La Habrea. Do you know him? Know him, we've met. Oh, the stories I could tell you. You're no mere familiar, are you? Master La Habrea is not known for being generous with his time. That one would have stories of his company almost beggars belief. Regardless, while I doubt I need to tell you this, he is of the convocation. Take care that your actions do not hinder his work. And with that, we're free to make our way to Pandaemonium. The nearest that will take us there is on the eastern bank of the Leith. Let us delay no further. Okay, let's see. How many dungeons were in Shadowbringers? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. How many dungeons were in Endwalker? Okay, so 12 for Endwalker so far. And then 13 for 6.5, I'm assuming. I love this mount. It's so silly. I had to contain my surprise for the sake of appearances. But is it true that you two have met La Habrea in the flesh? I find you more fascinating by the moment. Still, I should refrain from asking too many questions. Secrets will make our journey all the more intriguing. We shall come to know each other in time, I wager. Why else would fate have orchestrated our meeting? In any case, let us be off. Truth be told, this will be my first time beholding the fabled Pandaemonium with my own eyes. Here's to a new adventure, eh? Yes. Oh, wow. It is much as I feared. The speaker seemed in such high spirits that for a moment I thought the ethereal irregularity was not so nearly so grave as portent as I had imagined. Alas, 'twas a fleeting and vain hope. To gaze upon this complex network of chains and wards, the untrained eye might not sense anything awry. No effort has been spared in making this place impenetrable. Even the finest of masterworks is not without its flaws, however. Someone or something is tampering with the protections. It is working from within, eroding them from the inside out. Fear not, there's no immediate danger. I reinforced what protections I could the moment we arrived. This will not put an end to whatever is occurring, but it shall at least serve to slow its progress. One small victory, though the road ahead of us is yet long. Yes, powerful forces are at work here. The silence in the air speaks volumes. While I did not expect a bustling facility, I see not a single warder. Our first course of action should be to seek one out, wherever they may be. However, there's something you must know. The magic I wove upon entering requires my constant awareness. That is to say, if we're forced to fight, I cannot risk joining you in battle. Should I lose focus, Pandaemonium's protections will rapidly crumble before the force assailing them. Were there another way, I would gladly choose it, but let us at least be grateful that neither of us here is alone, trapped in hopeless circumstances. Pandaland! If we fail to find a peaceful solution, then I hope that I can rely on your strength to see us through. Of course, yeah, my promise. Thank you for offering your help so willingly. If weapons are drawn, I hope to be able to lend at least a touch of magical support. Creation magics do have their uses in that regard. I had it in mind to use your Aether as a basis for illusory allies that will fight at your side. Perhaps 7 shall do. Not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. Wait, are we bringing the Scions? Then so shall it be. Now what, I wonder, awaits us in Pandaemonium's pitiless halls? Aspholetos, the first circle. Can an explanation for Duty Finder go? Yeah. Okay, he was talking about Duty Finder, not trusts. My bad. Actually, let me go back to that and read that again. Creation magics do have their uses in that regard. I had in mind to use your Aether as a basis for illusory allies that will fight at your side. Perhaps 7 shall do. Not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. Okay, yeah. This is, you guys. Oh, that's fun. Alright, who wants to join? If we don't have enough, we'll queue in. I'll queue in myself. Work? I'm sorry, when? You passed me in Elpis and didn't see you. I'm sorry. Let me add you. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I think that was like the one time because I normally see you everywhere. Alright, I'm gonna message everyone. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I did not see you. Okay, while we wait, I will break early here and run ads. And then we'll see how many people join up. If not, then we'll just queue up. So I will be right back. Hi all, we're back. Hello. Let's go back. Does anyone know how long Twitch has had its dedicated tab top left for Roblox? I have no idea. Gonna go toss in some laundry really quick. Should be back before we get a group together. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Ellie. Do you want in? Okay. Let me know when you're on Sarg. Alrighty, let's see. The discovery of a crystal born from the far reaches of the Aetherial Sea, and the desperate plea contained within leads you once more to Elpis, where your trajectory quite literally collides with that of a young man named Themis. Like you, he was here for answers, seeking the source of an etheric disturbance culminating in loss of contact with the jail housing the ancient, most dangerous creations. It's in this place, this Pandaemonium, into which you may now descend. Looking forward to these raids, Annie? Yes, I actually have no idea or frame of reference what these raids are. Like, the only mention of Pandaemonium that I remember is the Guardian Force in FF8 Pandaemonium, but that was the wind summon. Never mind, someone took the washer between the time I checked and the status and the time I found my shoes. Aw. I'm excited to see what this raid series is about. I'm just checking Discord one last time. You just saw my ping, you're around? Okay. That's the same relation I had to Pandaemonium before this one too. With regards to FF at least. If I remember correctly, Pandaemonium I think was like a endgame dungeon in one of the other Final Fantasies, if I'm trying to remember. It definitely feels like a last dungeon, or like a last area in a Final Fantasy game. Oh yeah, Pandaemonium, yeah. Cactuar's on Aether, right? Or probably Crossworld it, I guess. Crossworld invite you. Do you mind if I say what FF it was? Let's hold off on that, actually. Until we, go further here. Yeah, the thing was called, yeah, Pandaemonium. Let's talk to you. It was from one that came before 17. FF8. I mean, that's okay. I mean, FF8 was what I was talking about anyway. Wait, before that? Yeah, let's actually hold off saying where it was, because I want to be surprised for this. Yeah, I only know about Pandemonium from FF8. Let's look around. It's also kind of giving me like eerie Ultimatia's Castle kind of vibes too from 8 as well. Like the very haunting, creepy music and the... Yep. Okay, I think we'll cross our fingers and queue in here, so let's ready check. Alright. Five minutes. This is Aether, won't be too much of a wait. And you were right. Alright, let's set that. Yeah, that was the reason I picked Sark for this. Also, looks like we're getting 2 more people too here. We could do that for the second raid. Oh, I'll save them. I must. This appears to be the warders we seek, but I'm afraid he's in no state to answer questions. Perhaps you can bring him to his senses. Ericthonius, Warder of the Condemned. Alright. Go for it. Now. Alright, gather. Drag them onto the depths, O chains. Be assailed by ice and flame. Okay. The bones to ash. I guess. I'm gonna guess. Since I'm in ice, maybe I have to melt the ice. Okay, it looked like that was the way to go. Not allow you to run free. I will lock you away once and again, forever. Alright, GG. We don't need to take a picture for this one. We could take a picture like at the end of the fourth raid here. Yeah, thank you guys. Nod. Alright. Wee haha. Yeah, thank you guys. I want all of these. Alright. Let's go. Let's go back. I don't really need to run these on my main, so we're gonna go with my start main develop. Yep. That was a thrilling display. If I may be so vaunting, the warriors I spun from your aether fought even more splendidly than I had anticipated. I suppose they were cut from an excellent cloth after all. We should wait until this man regains his senses. He wears the robes of a warder. I'd be very curious to know what drove him to attack us, sight unseen. Toumeya, he stirs. What? What came over me? It's coming back to me. My mind was filled with a storm of desperation, anger. I leapt at you, though I knew naught of your intentions. Pray accept my apologies, and my thanks. Had you not knocked some sense back into me, I may have fallen upon someone less capable of defending themselves. Nod. I am Eric Thonios, a warder of Asphodelos, Pandaemonium's highest layer, and the place we're in now. One must wonder why you're so desperate to keep us out. What is happening in Pandaemonium? The creations interred with the Asphodelos have been set free, stalk its halls to no end but violence. That is not good, to say the least. Has this ever happened before? No, never. Each level of Pandaemonium is under the charge of a key ward, who keeps strict control over the most minute aspects of their domain. They're selected with great care, and their loyalty to Master La Habrea is absolute. Yet something has gone terribly wrong. Try as we might to hold the line, the chaos within is overwhelming. I hardly realized that I had become separated from my colleagues. I remember a chorus of whispers assailing my senses, and afterwards only flashes of rage and fury, then blackness, from which I awoke to find that whatever had overcome me was gone. I see, your senses may have been muddled by magics that affect the mind. Perhaps the self-same ones that you saw separated you from other warders. Whatever taken a hold of me, thank you for releasing me from its clutches. That you've come here from the surface must mean some word of our plight has reached the outside world. If you know anything that may help, pray tell. Horror among horrors, so Pandaemonium's protections are indeed being dismantled from within. But the same individual, or individuals, that released its captives and set them upon you, no doubt. Such knowledge avails us little, however. We cannot ascertain their identity. Famous, was it? You said you worked for an organization under the auspices of the Convocation. Were they to receive word of what has transpired here, what measures would they take? Doubtless they would consider this place to be a lost cause. Pandaemonium's ties to the outside world would be severed. Perhaps it would be wiped from existence entirely. As I thought, were the creatures to escape into the outside world, there would be untold carnage. The words of La Habrea would never risk that, despite what value the research subjects may hold. All the more reason to work with haste. We can't expect further help, and it falls upon me to save the others. I'll not leave them behind. You would go alone. I won't leave the other warders to face certain doom. I know they fight for survival even now. They wouldn't abandon their duty. They would see the creatures return to their cells at all costs. And so I must do the same, Thamus. I know the request I'm about to make of you is a monumental one. But please, say not a word of this to the Convocation until I've been given a chance to set things right. Forgive me my rudeness, Ericthonius, but my decision cannot be swayed by emotion. You'd only be consigning yourself to an early death. Strength of resolve alone cannot win in the face of overwhelming odds. That being said, our investigation has only just begun, and it would be remiss to turn back ere we made an exhaustive survey. So for the time being, there's slightly more to resolve, to rely upon. Heh, I knew you would be all too eager to join us. Each moment since you fell from the skies has been more interesting than the last. More and more you remind me of my dear friend. I do wonder if we're actually going to meet Azem, the new Azem, here. Which goes some way towards encouraging me that this matter will yet reach a satisfactory conclusion. So, you agree to help. For the moment our goals align. The protected magics of Pandaemonium yet hold, so for the moment time is in our favor. Let us proceed upon the course you and Toumeya have set us upon. Famous and Toumeya, yes? Thank you. The warders owe you a great debt already. We should be glad to have someone familiar with Pandaemonium's halls by our side. A party of 3 is ever much more entertaining than a pair of 2. Now let us turn our attention to rescuing your colleagues. Perhaps it would be wise to approach the gates, in case any have followed you out. I mean, 3 is always better and more entertaining than 2, to be honest, because with 3 you have Vana, Emmet, and Hythlodaeus, and those 3 are very entertaining. Okay, let's get critical hit again. And then I think Eric and V are also here. Alright. Yeah, thank you guys. Seems our investigation will be quite the ordeal after all. Still, I find it hard to believe that La Habrea knows aught of what has transpired here. Whoever the mastermind of this crisis is, they do not lack for power and cunning. Under the surface, Ericthonius is peering into the depths of Pandaemonium. Not a sound can be heard from within, which means neither creature nor warder has made it this far. We should begin forming a plan to save them at once. Forgive me if I misunderstand, but do you mean to rescue the warders and creations both? Naturally. Although they may be dangerous, they're valuable research subjects. I wouldn't see our labor, or untold hours of study go to waste. I dare say La Habrea would smile to hear you say such a thing. That is, if we had cause to report this incident to him. Smile? I'm not sure his face is capable of such warmth. Ah, so you met him before. I was under the impression he rarely visited Pandaemonium. I have, yes. My mentor was the previous head of this facility, that is to say, La Habrea's predecessor in the position of Chief Keyword. Her name was Athena. She was a researcher with the words. It was she pointed me to this position, in fact. I see. I did not know there was a chief keyword before La Habrea. The motivation to save your research subjects is not entirely driven by duty to the words, then. You also wish to preserve the work of your mentor. You have the right of it. I'm lacking in ideas of how to go about that. However, I'm a mere warder and cannot wield interment magics. But of course, I can hardly expect you to be versed in the magics we use here. If you recall, during our battle earlier, I bound you in ethereal shackles. Internment is more refined and powerful magic based upon the same principles. While both are used to keep our subjects docile, only the keyword of each tier is permitted to use internment. Even if I were allowed, I lack the aptitude to use the spell to any notable effect. Fascinating. I have some knowledge of these forms of spellcraft, actually. La Habrea himself has established their foundation, if I recall. Just shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time. Interment freezes the very space around it for as long as the caster wills. One sec, I'm sending a message. Okay. While shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time, Interment freezes the very space around it for as long as the caster wills. Indeed, while the illusory beings you summoned in our fight suggested as much. I see your knowledge of magic is vast. Perhaps you've already mastered the art of interment, and I've been lecturing you like a child all this time. I'm afraid my knowledge ends there. I have not the precise understanding of how the invocations interact with natural laws. That would be needed to cast said spells with any consistency. We're unlocking the second raid right now, actually. Yeah, let me know if when you're online, and thank you. I consider myself well versed in various magics, so I'd be ill-advised to assume the deities of keyword without instruction. That being said, if I were to learn more of the interment and its inner workings, perhaps. Well, you have a warder standing in front of you. Leave the fighting to me. You two can figure out the rest. I dare say we can do just that. Ericthonius, you implied that what prevented you from performing interment was lack of magical capacity. What if I supplemented your power with my own? Would that spell succeed then? I can't say for certain. I never heard of such a thing being done. I believe it may be your best recourse, that is, of course, assuming you can perform the initial rites and incantations flawlessly. Even the smallest misstep and we have to start over. You needn't worry about that. I've seen the spells cast so many times that their motions have been burned into my memory. I won't disappoint. Very well, let us work out the specifics afterwards. Once we do, we could test out our methods on one of the escaped creatures. Though I suppose there is a matter of finding one. It'd be foolish to rush in blindly, unless we find ourselves surrounded by naught but an untested stratagem at our disposal. I prefer to engage a single creature that Toumeya could dispatch on her own if the spell were to go awry. I agree, and I may have an idea in that regard. Recall seeing the hippocampus wandering the waterways during my flight. Perhaps it's still there. A few of the subjects housed within Aspola Deus are fond of water. I believe we'll be able to engage the beast without fear of unwanted guests. Then that shall be our first target, or perhaps subject is a better term. Before we commence with the internment magics, the creature should be weakened to a sufficient degree. I believe I can trust you with that task. as dependable as ever. Once you've given it a thorough trouncing, we shall bind this hippocampus with its keywords magic. Till then, my illusions shall fight by your side. The hippocampus will be alone, but it's a daunting opponent nonetheless. Its magics warp the environment around it. It will be at home amidst the waterways. Steel yourself for a fight. Yeah, this is our Pokemon trainer arc. Alright, second circle. Okay, Yulta, are you online? Let's scroll back up. The warder, Ericlonius, has brought with him the chilling news that all creations within... you'll be another 20 minutes? Okay, that's fine. He's brought with him the chilling news that all creations within Sphodelos, the highest level Pandaemonium, now run free of their fetters. In order to prevent total chaos from bursting forth onto the world above, Famous and Eric, I'll just call him Eric, plan to utilize interment magics to safely capture any errant creatures. If their theory translates well into practice, that is, with only one way to find out, you head to the waterways to confront a monster of legend, the water-wielding hippocampus. Alright, Elle, are you back? Let's do another ready check. Okay, awesome. And just like that. It's our friends. That's a cool design. The third one will be good at minimum eye level. Okay. Alright. Alright, go for it. It's hidden by or at odds. I doubt it signifies anything good. Okay, I don't like the glowing floors. We do want to flee to higher ground, unless the creature drowns us in its rage. Buddy up. Water has receded. Its hit comes off, have care. Right, gather. Not that many fights that use floor elevation, is there? Not really, no. Aside from like the ones in Alexander, though. And then this one too. GG. Gotta catch them all. Go, Master Ball. Nod. Alright, weehaw. Oh, we could do the photo on the fourth one. Yeah, photo on the fourth. Alright, thank you guys. Now I want to see a full team of Ascian-clad adventurers doing the raid. Alright. All fights will be better at minimum eye level because they do not scale well. Alright. Yeah, we're just waiting on one more on Yulta. Which is fine. Do I have some Ascian robes? Are there Ascian robes in the game? Aside from maybe Cathesis Hyperborea, perhaps? Do those count? Yes? Okay. That was a trial by fire, or water, I suppose. I had faith we would see it through, so long as we have your stout arm, of course. I knew that you were no mere mercenary, but to make such clean work of the hippocampus, seasoned fighters scarcely have occasion to visit Pandaemonium, let alone display their skills. Mastery takes all forms indeed. Needless to say, our plan worked to perfection, in no small part thanks to you two. Damus's power was more than enough to complete the interment. Spellcasting was never my strong suit, but that almost made me feel like a proper Megos. Surely, have you seen your abilities firsthand in your fight with Toumeya? I beg to disagree. Shackles is the one exception. 'Tis only because I've been forced to practice it since I was but a small child. Other magics leave me feeling completely out of my depth. Regardless, it seems luck is on my side, to guide me to you. We may prove the impossible possible after all. What about the ones we killed butterflies for? My teammate in the last fight, where were those robes from? To witnessing the hippocampus's capabilities, I should not blame you for wishing to avoid any further creations in place of their choosing. Alas, I doubt we have the luxury. Oh, that looks pretty. The fires of creation. Thamus is pondering the road ahead. While our successes in stealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening, the fact that we have yet to see any other warders concerns me. 10 minutes out. Okay, I'll probably run an ad then. The keyword of Asphodelos is nothing if not cautious. Doubtless he has gathered what warders he could and retreated to a safe area. Let us hope so. It occurs to me that I know little of the keywords, besides their magical prowess. Is there aught more that you can share? Of course, a man named Hesperos is in charge of Asphodelos. Not only does he have thorough knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. He has done much to ensure that I flourished here, in spite of my ineptitude at magic. And I've always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Furthermore, keywords are not only masters of internment, they could also bend the hallways of Pandaemonium to their will with creation magics. Oops, forgot to read that. With all this in mind, I'm certain that so long as Hesperos guides them, the other warders are safe. I can see why absolute control over the environs is imperative. When we face the hippocampus upon arid sands instead of the waterways, I suspect the battle would have ended much more quickly. In any case, if this Hesperos is as capable and caring as you say, we would do well to seek him out as soon as we can. He has like as not taken your colleagues to a secure location. The safest place would be the innermost circle of Asphodelos, where there they could flee to Abyssos if hard pressed. Even should they have sought safe haven within these other circles, if we make for the fourth, we ought to encounter them on the way. Indeed, we shall gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation within Asphodelos, which will be essential in determining whether we ought to continue down to Abyssos. The rub, of course, is that I myself possess no power to bend the circles to my will. Instead, we must proceed through the central corridor, which is barred by the Phoenix, last I checked. Phoenix. I have heard the name before. Fiery bird with life eternal. Beyond unquenchable brilliance, the perfected concept boasts nigh boundless restorative powers, if I recall. Truly an exemplary feat of creation magics. Perfection is ever built on the back of failure. However, La Habrea has suffered countless missteps during his experiments. And he was hardly the only one. At this point, I'm gonna say Phoenix, because I can't with these names. They're messing me up, honestly. Yeah, there's so many yeah, it's just Phoenix. The Phoenix will be one of many attempts at the concept gone awry. Far from evoking wonder, our Phoenix is a creature of fury and wrath. Or Fire Chicken too, that works. Or Moltres. Or Suzaku. Far from evoking wonder, our Phoenix is a creature of fury and wrath, and seeks only to turn the world to ash. Thus was it confined within Pandaemonium. Development of the concept continued elsewhere, but as the moons turned, more and more researchers abandoned the project as an impossibility, save for La Habrea and his words. When I received word that at long last La Habrea had succeeded where so many others had failed, I was nearly overcome. Pray tell, how did the warders of Pandaemonium celebrate their master's accomplishment? I don't believe we did. The research of the words of La Habrea has little consequence to our work here, save for those rare times it charges us with a new specimen. And truth be told, I don't remember anyone making note of their occasion. But enough reminiscing, we must make ready to confront the Phoenix. While it's possible that it flew off to some other wing of Pandaemonium, we'd make that assumption at our own peril. Better to assume that we need to bring Aspodelos' most unruly subject to heel. I certainly see no reason to delay. The Phoenix's power over flame will avail it far less in a barren corridor than elsewhere, so it may well serve us to subdue it sooner rather than later. We got this. Oh, hi. What? It seems whoever's behind this can alter the space around us at will. We face an uphill battle. Possible. If those were creation magics at work, then that means... Let us confront that reality after we have conquered the enemy in front of us. Every drop of our focus shall be required if we're to inter the Phoenix. Alright, third circle. She'll gain naught from allowing the larger implications of this to distract us from the fight ahead. The Phoenix's rage will be unbridled, but I trust you're prepared for the worst. Fight well, friend. pulling into my street. Yeah, don't worry, take your time. I'm gonna pause here and take a break, actually, and go to the bathroom. Actually, yeah, everyone get up, stretch, drink water. I will be right back. Alrighty, hello, we're back. Let's read the third one. Yolda, what's your status? Having successfully subdued the hippocampus, your group sets off to find Eric's fellow warders, presuming to be hiding in the deepest circles of Aspodelos. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Please take care of yourself. Yeah, take care. Thank you. Alright. It's the Phoenix. Standing in your way, however, is the Phoenix, a violent failed iteration of the iconic immortal bird. It soars through the halls, warped by creation magics into an arid, desolate wasteland. Its perfect choice of battlefield, awaiting any foolish enough to venture into its newfound domain. Alright. Excited to see what this one's about. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do mine, which is fine. We're just waiting on Yolda. Let's see. Stunning but sadly unstoried armor recovered from Pandaemonium. Ring, gauntlets, greaves. I'm excited to see the armor, the gear after this, because I think one of my favorite parts about like the raid series is just seeing like what kind of potential glance I could have after we finish like a raid tier here. All right. It just clocked to me that you were streaming. Hi. Yeah. Hi, Nia. Yeah, how are you today? So I will be doing only the first set here today, the first 4, but then I'm going to be doing the second and third tier raids on Friday, because I need to continue unpacking my stuff, because I got my stuff out of storage a couple days ago, so I've slowly been decorating here, so I want to do more of that tonight. Okay. How's Sage treating you? So far today, actually, like I feel like a little more comfortable with it. Like, haven't really had like any high stress situations with it. Like so far, it's been okay compared to like my previous like attempts playing it. But I'm still trying to like force myself to kind of like play the job and see how it plays. But so far, it's going okay. Yeah, I'm on Sarg. Sorry. Yeah, that was to help with queue times. A few more minutes while I travel. Yeah, no worries. Okay, Panheima. You logged out or you logged... Yeah, okay. Yeah, if Sarg is closed, you could just go into like any Aether place and we'll just cross-world it. This is... Okay. What was this one again? Okay, that's the dash. Restores HP to targets under the effect of Guardian granted by you. You're doing MSQ and Elpis at the moment, so close yet not enough. Okay, so that's an attack. And then what was this again? Yeah, that's a healing recovery increase. This was... Okay, that's Adder's Skull. Okay, this is the AoE of Turokale. Sark's still open. Okay. Only 2 close servers so far. Save some Ascian's appropriate robes from the main storyline. I gotta get my Wondrous Tales too. We go do that afterwards. Got your Aloe Glam on? Nice. Also, where would I take this stuff here, if anyone knows? Elpis, right? Because that would be closer to this area. Or is it in Charlian or Avenir? Oh, Razathan. Okay, thank you. They are. Right. All the gear stuff is in Razathan. Alright. There's a shop in Labyrinthos. Okay. Alright, number 3. Yeah, feel free to pull, we don't need to do a countdown. My friends are my power. Phoenix. That's a cool design. Alright. Go for it. Also, very nice guys wearing the robes. Rude. Awaken Fire. Kill these. Oh. Right Cinder Wing. Storm sweeps through, pouring burning rain. Oh, sunbirds. Dead Rebirth. Ouch. Fires consuming the field. GG. Nod. Alright, good job, guys. I'll take those, thank you. Alright. You won, but the question remains. Whence did this hellscape arise? Thank you, guys. I'm gonna go make some tuna sandwiches. Go for it. With that, the phoenix is shackled once more. However, there is yet the matter of this arena. As you told us, there is but one person in Aspodalos with the ability and authority to wield such magics. Though fortunately, it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. A contemptible display, as befits an inferior specimen. Even so, I expected it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of internment drag the phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is even more of a failure than its creators care to admit, or you are no means trespassers. I had hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. Okay, what in the Castlevania is this? Keyword Hesperos. Why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved Pandaemonium? Yes, very yeah. You'll make hot dogs later today. Yay. Pandemonium. Pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast. Unlike those charged with its keeping. What has possessed you? I don't understand. Oh, Erechthonius, must you pester me with these inane questions? Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. And then again, you have never been one for insight. Why Master La Habrea suffers your mediocrity that I shall never understand. You may look like him, but you're not the Hesperos I know. Something has warped you, too, from the inside out. The keyword I knew had compassion for all those under his charge, be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. Was this all a farce? Did you hide your contempt for us all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged into its depths. You prove my opinion of you with your every word. My mind is clearer than it's ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise in my throat. Such wasted potential. To be son to Master La Habrea, yet no more skilled with magic than a newborn babe. Oh, son. But of course, it's always about La Habrea. Silence, you're not worthy to utter his name. For once, be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities. Beyond your shallow reckoning, I have slipped the surly bonds of mortality. I have become one with our mythic creations. I've rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. I see daddy issues. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Final Fantasy game without those, right? As a Hematheos shall I serve Master La Habrea, ever faithful unto the end of days. And he shall require no other. I think not. Are you blinded by arrogance that you've lost sight of what it means to serve? Eric is more capable than you could ever know. It was thanks to his instruction that I was able to master the art of attunement. both how to wield it and how to break free of it. Hi. Toumeya, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperos' mind, its plainest power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. Nod. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master internment so quickly. To say nothing of how swiftly that familiar laid low the Phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing. Whether they fritter away their strength in calming the beasts as Asphodelos, I continue my work, even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain. Naught shall await them but doom. I eagerly await your arrival, Erechthonius. Even dullards have their uses. Well then. Okay. My darkest suspicions have been realized. We face the keyword of Asphodelos himself. More than that revelation, however, Eric worries me. He loved Hesperos for his compassion. He received naught but scorn from whatever the keyword has become. Oh. He has said little since our return. I only hope that the shock of recent events does not prove to be a death knell for his resolve. Let me talk to him very quick. Please, leave me be. Who wards the warders? Thanos would offer what comfort he can to Erechthonius. So many issues. Yeah. Much as I am loath to disturb Eric so soon after what just occurred, I'm afraid circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. Perhaps it will do him well to speak about recent events, concerning both the keyword and his father. The creation of the world which surrounds Pandaemonium was an astounding feat of magical prowess. A feat accomplished by none other than Lahabrea. That both my father and I combined others in change is perhaps the only thing we have in common. Ah, so it's true. I am Lahabrea's son, bereft of his talent for magics or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come as entirely a surprise to you. Nay, I had an inkling when you said you had practiced ethereal shackles since childhood. Assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long, had to indicate some long-held connection with Lahabrea. It was Lahabrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles, but that was it. My further education was overseen by the words of Lahabrea, more specifically my mother, who was a researcher there. You did speak of Athena, chief keyword before Lahabrea. She is your mother, yes? How astute. I could see now why you were chosen to lead this investigation. You have the right of it. Athena was my mother. It was she who invited me to join her here. Lahabrea had nothing to do with it. I am wondering, like, if we're gonna meet Lahabrea or Athena here later on. I see, there is little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why Lahabrea was appointed chief keyword when another was already in place. was in place. My mother was no longer with us. Oh, never mind. And La Habrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities, with nary a moment to spare to mourn her. What love do I owe him now when he offered not one drop of compassion then? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see. She's no longer with us, an expression to convey the end of a life. I have known only the public face of La Habrea. He's lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstances. I must admit that off he comes across as cold. Apologies, but can we speak of something else? This topic isn't an easy one for me to discuss. Of course, there's more pressing matters at hand, after all, namely how to deal with Hesperos. We've yet to see the other warders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Hesperos has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. Now that he's aware of our presence, he'll be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing. Quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creations is another moment Hesperos can contrive another advantage for himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. He said that he's become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to internment. In theory, that should be possible. However, is it nearly enough to confine him after all he's done? I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he's worked for. One sec. I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he's worked for. Is it all truly so he could serve his master? To my mind, he's merely put in La Habrea's own work and risk and trade for some nebulous power. La Habrea is the chief keyword of Pandaemonium. How would throwing it in disarray win his favor? Doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity, but we must consider that our enemy has us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Should we seek to put him in fetters, or would it be too dangerous to allow him quarter? I mean, if you fail to confine him, I can always strike him down. But to be honest, I kind of want more answers, though. I want more answers. Daring as ever, I see. I know not which trials you have faced in your past, but to see you so certain that is all the convincing I need. Very well, let us try Eric's plan. Thank you, Toumeya. I believe I could shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperos spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale fangs of the Vricolagus, a beast which feeds off the aether of its prey. Likely that is the creation Hesperos merged its essence with. And we all know too well he could change the environment around himself at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. I would love a middle option, not that silly gesture, and not the, I kill him. Alright. Get some water very quick. We do have an 8th now, so we could do a minimum eye level. Let me just invite them. Come on. There you are. Right. Let's read this one. Perpetrator of the Chaos in Aspodalos is revealed to be none other than its keyword Hesperos, once known for his kindness to both warders and captives alike. Now appears for you as an amalgamation of mythic beast and man. Hamatheos. Drunk with devotion to La Habrea, and dripping venom for Eric, Aspodalos' keeper may be its most fearsome creation. Alright. Yeah, we're going mine for this one. Let's do a ready check. Alright, awesome. Duty Finder. Oh, we're actually fighting him now. My friends are my power. Squad. Hesperos. All right. I've awaited this moment, witnessed the full measure of Hamatheos' power. These halls are my domain. That's a big cape. down on this. Oh. Hellscare. Thank you. I see. Okay. So the thing in the middle is a push. Thank you. Okay, I see. Interesting. Pepsis. Alright. Alright, Yolta, I got you. The mechanics are so wild. What hit me? Should we do healer LB3? Oh. Or no? Thank you. Ooh, that was close. This is chaotic. Oh, I mean, do I have enough sorcerer class? Okay. We do. Relinquish your ether. I do love this mechanic right here. I hate that. LB3, please. Healer LB3. Thank you. Jeez, that hits so hard. The difference between mine and non-mine is huge. Like, is he a pushover when it's not mine? GG. That was very spicy and chaotic. Nod. Pandaemonium Asphodelos completes. Alright, thanks guys. Let's do a photo. Wee haha. Okay, Let's let me get this stuff first. Okay. Oh, Nia, can you move over, like, maybe like a foot next to me? Thank you. Alright. Yeah, thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. It was really spicy and chaotic. Squats. Squats. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. Should try fire chicken again, minimum eye level. Hey Turtle, welcome in. Looks like you finished this tier, all done for today. Yes, actually. We'll resume on Friday. Yeah, welcome in. We beat Dracula. We did it. We beat Castlevania. Yeah. Alright, guys. Thank you, guys. We'll continue these Friday. Alright, guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna head out. Now, famous, we end this here. Fools, I will not be put in chains. To think I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should have treated you as more of a mere nuisance. Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, they shall return to the star with me. You're wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now. Surely you could see that. Yes, my repertoire is not exhausted yet. However, although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. Oh dear. I remain loyal to the very last. And with May, I die with dignity. Or did your ambition lead you astray, Hesperos? You were better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other than Pandaemonium. You had La Habrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? That you would forsake all that and sully your legacy besides. became so blinded by his own desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything. His plans lie in tatters. I failed to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would have liked to know why he chose this path. Hesperos' infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was jealous that fate had chosen you and not him to be La Habrea's son. So terrible did this jealousy become that he sought verboten power that La Habrea would be unable to ignore. How does the pursuit for respect warp one's heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everyone else? Never heard of such a thing. Have you met my friend Xenos? My enemy, my friend. It's not uncommon as you might think. It happens, but doesn't mean it's right. I mean, it's not uncommon as you think. My enemy, my friend. I see. I admit I cannot but find it vexing. Perhaps that signifies naught but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times. A person you trust to guide you true. How it is to desperately wish their light would fall upon you again. But we have spent enough time assuming the intentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other wardens and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I can be of help on that matter. The influence of Hespero's magic is fading throughout Espadales. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facilities and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? There's definitely more to you than you're letting on here. Like, I have an idea of who he actually is, but... What? What is his presence? Eric Thonios. What lies beyond that threshold? That's the passage which connects Hospitalos to Abyssos. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Now that Hospitalos is free of obstructions, I can more easily sense disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. I cannot talk today. A warding sigil. How? Let us return to the gates for now. I should like to apprise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Alright. Just when I thought our work to be done, did this tragedy unfold all throughout Pandaemonium? Although we've defeated Hesperos, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandaemonium's troubles. My head is still swarming with questions, but could this mean that Hesperos wasn't actually behind this? It's a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than the result of a panicked mind. You're made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. Also, Eric is one of our FC friends on Seraph. It's possible that the same magic could have poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affection for La Habrea into a burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he was made an offer of power he could not refuse. Yeah, classic Final Fantasy. The final boss was not actually the final boss. Who knew? Yeah, I see you, Necron. Wait, so you're suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? If so, it stands to reason that they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed, our mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiments. For more potential hemethoi. If what you're saying is true, then my colleagues, they're doomed to share the same fate as Hesperos. Do not lose heart yet, Eric. Hesperos challenged us alone, and that tells me the process of his creation was a long and taxing one. If he was the first Emetheos, then the rest of the Wardens are likely still alive. However, as much as I will hasten deeper into Pandaemonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. The creation's still free reign of Asmodeus. That won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles, and thus can wield interment magic within their halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that, there's nothing stopping us from returning order to Asmodeus. Just so, I should require your expertise to begin to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to their confinement. However, you are Asmodeus' sole remaining warder after all. Truth be told, I did not expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to La Habrea? It is too soon to say. Let us find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we have ascertained the whereabouts of the other Wardens, the identity of the party responsible for their disappearance. Agreed. Even so, and if it means to saving even a single life within Pandaemonium, I am not above asking La Habrea for help, should it come to that. Recent discoveries certainly paint Hesperos' actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and we must proceed forward with utmost caution. To that end, Eric and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I don't believe we shall be needing protection so as long as we remain in Asmodeus. You should take time to rest. Surely you're weary. There may be more battles ahead of us. Damus's burden may grow heavier in your absence. He's showing that he's more capable to bear it. Still, I would help with wheresoever I'm able. All that we achieved so far has been thanks to you two. I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside of placating the creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense, you owe us nothing. It's thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we're able to come this far. Elsewise, we would have likely succumbed to the Hippocampus' assault. Each of us have arrived at this dire pass by separate paths. It's only by combining our respective expertise that we will reach the end of it and see Pandaemonium saved. Thank you, Thanos. Hesperos' words seem to have affected me more than I realize. Together we've come this far. Together we'll reach the end. I had no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Toumeya her rest. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress, yes? I dare say your story will be much more than they've ever imagined. I'm going to the future. One sec. I'm just checking the document here. Okay, it looks like yeah, once I finish this quest, that'll be it for the first bit of this. Okay, cool. My friend would be very curious to hear what has occurred here. However, I fear if I left Pandaemonium, the wards protecting it would quickly deteriorate. I hope she does not mind assuming some of my duties in the meantime. I want to meet Assam. Like, come on, game. So you don't serve the convocation. I suppose I shouldn't even worry about you going behind her backs to curry favor with La Brea. I would never do that. Me and him have a history. I'll see you guys again very soon. One thing that also boggles me, like, my theory is that Thamus is the one who will eventually become Elpis and Zodiark's heart, but like, I'm wondering, like, what will be the moment of his turn to become the emissary. And I'm kind of hoping we kind of see that here, though, because we literally know nothing of the man behind Elpis. I think that's why Elpis just disappointed me like so much going through the story, because like, we literally know nothing about him. Besides that he is the emissary, he is only doing his duty. And if he is originally famous, then what happened? Hopefully I can leave from here. Okay, Aporia. Oh, there's an NPC right there for the rock stuff. Okay, that's convenient. At the professor's behest, we have kept our reports on recent events as vague as we can manage. Even if we wish to do otherwise, much of note has transpired here as of late. Professor Claudian has tasked me with recording the ethereal signatures of each and every crystal in his recent orders. As a lowly assistant, I'm honored to be given such an enormous and monumental assignment. Welcome, Toumeya. Back from the past, none the worse for wear, I see. So, what did you find? I beat Dracula. So there's evil afoot in Pandaemonium. An already ominous place, I must say. Mythic beasts and missing warders. Truly we're fortunate to see you return to us in one piece. It appears the voice Toumeya heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, it could be someone who lived among the ancients, or it could be someone trying to avert a tragedy from the future. Much remains shrouded in mystery. Yet aeon by aeon we shall unveil that mystery. With the help of Toumeya, of course. By her actions, with the fabric of the past reshaped, she has returned to the same present she left. By her actions was the fabric of the past reshaped, yet she returns to the same present she left. Which can only mean one thing: her intervention in Pandaemonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. There's no telling what consequences would arise if we stopped pursuing this matter now. Whatever plot is unraveling within Pandaemonium, let's not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would carry forth to the future? They might wreak havoc upon the world of the ancients, and their despair would leave an indelible mark upon history's pages. That despair would only feed the terrible beasts that arose during the final days. The first final days already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. The scars it left were made even deeper, and we risk losing our present entirely. Oh boy, we just inadvertently caused our present to be in danger. Okay. So we have to finish this. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I've asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in Pandaemonium? Nod. Your tireless efforts are much appreciated. There's aught we can do to ease your burden. You need only say the word. Speaking of which, you might return the crystal into our keeping, but we cannot accompany you to the past. Perhaps something can be gained by researching it further. It shines just as splendidly as the day we met. We should begin work right away, but I cannot promise any meaningful results for some time. As matters in Elpis seem like a similar state, I must ask that you rest. But before that, allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into its critical stage, I only found it suitable to recruit another assistant. Is it Graha? Oh. It's not Graha. Melanie is an expert in armaments from throughout history, be they from the far-flung past or made in the most modern forges. Should you find art of interest in your adventures, bring it here and she'll be glad to offer her services. We know researchers in numerous fields that would love to get their hands on artifacts from bygone eras and would give you goods in return that should you aid in the trials ahead. Furthermore, if you wish to peruse the records of events you have reported here, then Gigi has been taking faithfully and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. Yeah, I'm sad it's not Graha. I sense that we've embarked upon something monumental. Something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor, nor reassurance, than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. If there's anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. We shall not rest until we unlock the mysteries of this crystal. You'll be the first to know when we do. Yay. Alright, awesome. Alright, part 1 is done. And we'll talk to you on Friday. Oh. Allow me to thank you personally for your contribution to our research. Your stories of the ancient creations have planted the seeds of a great many theories. Cannot wait for them to flourish. How goes the investigation? By the professor's order, our reports to the other research bodies have been somewhat scarce on concrete information. Even if we wanted to go into further detail, there are too many unknown variables concerning how this crisis might affect our present. We only know for certain that the crystal we found ties us to the past. We have no luck elucidating further memories from its depths. We're at present gathering many soul crystals and shards we can to conduct thorough comparisons. Those experiments have yet to bear fruit. The fact that none but you can hear our Enigma's voice to begin with puts something of a damper on our potential progress. Yet even so, Professor Claudian is doing all within his power to move things forward. Oh, this is the, I know what this is. Professor Claudian has asked me to write detailed records of your investigation. If you wouldn't mind staying for a while, I would ask you to tell me more of your adventures in the past. Adventures that started with that mysterious crystal, seemingly containing a message declaring a crisis in this Pandaemonium. Of course, Professor Claudian will eventually make a report. But we are deficient on concrete facts at present. To that end, I suppose a comprehensive catalog of the beasts you encountered in this Aspodelos circles would be a fine starting point. Ah yes, I require every gory detail and every hair-raising description. Njiji, I brought the volumes you asked for, but you're quite certain we need all of this just to research the crystals. Some of these habitats of aquatic lifeforms and myths and folklore of the phoenix, for example, seem to have little bearing on the subject. In fact, many of these tomes seem to be related to the creatures of Pandaemonium Toumeya spoke of. Surely we have better things to do with our time. Toumeya has already encountered and subdued them, so what use could further insight offer? On the contrary, Rusinode, we will be remiss in our duty as academics not to take every opportunity to learn more of these subjects. To view the creatures of bygone times through the lens of modern science is a dream so few had chance to achieve. Of course, I'll not deny a personal interest in the matter. As I thought. Well, there are enough relevant volumes for me to fulfill your request this once. I wish to sate your appetite for knowledge again, as you do so on your own time. Shall we proceed? Tell me everything you remember, and please, spare not a single detail. I don't easily frighten, you may be assured. We'll start with your battle with this transformed warder, Erechthonios, was it? I would also like to hear the keyword and the natures of this metamorphosis. Good. Thank you for this priceless information. While I'm disappointed I couldn't behold your foes with my eyes, your stories have given me more than enough to write sufficiently thorough descriptions. Perhaps we should also include basic theories concerning the growth and behavior of these creatures. It would give our little catalog some flavor, wouldn't you agree? We could start with, I have it. Aquatic life forms in our time have been observed to grow to sizes that are orders of magnitude larger than their larval forms. In fact, it may not be so preposterous to posit that a hippocampus you encountered was merely the larval form of a much more massive, and dare I say horrific entity. Now don't look at me like I'm some mad magus. Breakthroughs have been precipitated by even the wilder theories than that. As the professor always says, you mustn't let logic stand in the way of brilliance. They're mad scientists. Until proven one way or the other, even a hypothesis is a valid one. Ah, there's nothing quite like the ambrosia of inspiration. Are we making records or creating fairy tales? Your ideas are intriguing to me. Are we making records or creating fairy tales? So as long as I make a note in the margins of my records indicating that a theory is unproven, we could let our imaginations run wild. Yes, I said our. You needn't be a researcher to have an idea that... You needn't be a researcher to have an idea that will leave its mark for generations. Yeah, savage. Alright. What do you have? For the record. Okay. Let me snooze this ad one last time. I'm not going to stream long. Let's talk to you. Okay, those are the Savage books. So let's take a look. Take a look at the fending gear. This is vending gear? Oh, it's not dyed. Oh, Savage version's probably dyed. Huh. Okay. I do like it. Like, I wouldn't mind getting this to be dyed. Here. Let's hide this. Yeah, I would potentially wear this as like a healer outfit. I do like the bottoms too here. Alright, let's take a look. Oh, that is awesome. I love this. I want this. Yeah, I would totally wear that. Okay, let's move down the line. Let's do maiming. Is it the same? This is really nice too. I like this. Okay, and then striking. Alright, kind of similar. Let's do scouting. Aiming. Yeah. Let's do casting. What does this look like? And then I'm assuming the healing one looks the same. Yeah, I feel the dyed versions would look so much better though. Yeah, I am a fan of the Fanting one though. Okay, this is 580, so a lot of my gear is already past 600, so... Alright, cool, cool, cool. Alright guys, thank you guys so much. Yeah, that's intentional. Yeah, I know, I know. You gotta do the savage content in order to unlock the dyeable stuff. I do like the fending gear though. But yeah, is the game saying play savage? I don't, since it's level 90, I think unsyncing it's probably gonna be very difficult unless you have like a full party of level 100 people. Because we are hitting that, we have hit that point already where like unsyncing stuff for Savage, for Endwalker, I would assume would be very difficult. Yeah, it's still really, yeah, okay. Okay, I guess I'll just like window shop, I guess, and just watch, look at that outfit again later on with that NPC then, and not actually like really, really rough. Ugh, okay. We need another expansion to come out. Maybe like within another year or so, but okay. Thank you guys so much. We'll be continuing these raids, raid tier 2 and 3 on Friday. I do want to sign off and get some unpacking done today. Need to clear P12S someday though. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. As always, we'll resume again. I do have a late shift on Thursday, but I'm gonna try and make the stream time 11 a.m. If not, then 11:30, and go from there. I have wanted one of the dyeable pieces for the last tier almost as long as I've been playing. Oh gods. Damn it. Being current with current content has its drawbacks, I've seen. Yeah, it's not fun. Well, anyway. God, why can't I... Oh. Clearly we need to speed notice through them and get the baby static going again. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go to my phone here because I can't type anything on OBS on computer, so... Here we are. Ko-Fi. YouTube. And Blue Sky. Alright guys, thank you guys so much. I'll be back on Friday. We'll start tiers 2 and 3 for the raids. I'm gonna estimate 11:30 because, again, late night shift. I've gotten almost halfway through P12S in an unsynced party. We shall persevere. The glam will be ours one day. But I finally have something I have my eye on for later on. But this was your first Savage tier. Good times. Alright guys, take care. I'll see y'all next time. And have a wonderful rest of your week. Goodbye.